Hi there, you are tuned into Beauty and Braids, the podcast where I, Karyne Tenard, has conversations about all things relevant to personal growth and development. Just a heads up, I'm unfiltered. You're welcome. Hey everybody, welcome back. It's your girl, you already know, Karyne, and I wanted to talk about mirroring. So I'm reading this book. Today's topic is about mirroring, and let me just tell you why I'm talking about that. Because so every morning while I'm trying to get into reading books, right? So books that actually stimulate my psyche, right? So the latest book that I'm reading is by Gabrielle Bernstein, and it is Add More Ing to Your Life. It's a hip guide to happiness, right? So when I bought it, I was like, I don't know, but I did want to try, read different books, see what it's all about. So the chapter that I just finished reading is about mirroring. And what that implies is that a lot of people that come into our lives usually mirror something within ourselves that we are not aware of. So, before reading that chapter, I actually was already into the whole, we attract who we are, or we go through karmic lessons, or there's certain people that come into our lives that trigger some part of us that we don't like, and it bothers us. So sometimes if there's somebody that is getting under your skin, and every time you're around them, they annoy you, and there's a specific reason why they annoy you. Usually that reason is a reflection of something in you. And there's a lesson that you have to learn so you can stop. So it basically does not trigger you anymore. You're able to kind of it doesn't even bother you anymore. The person is still the same. Right? The person is still the same. They probably going to be doing the same things, but how it affects you won't be that once you do the work. Once you realize what it is that's bothering you, you end up doing you reflect, you sit down, and then you solve the problem. Okay, so while I was reading it, I was like, okay, what? So, this podcast is about personal growth and development. So I'm gonna be real with y'all. Can I be real with y'all? Okay, thank you. So there's certain things that different people, if they come around me, then they say something maybe about finance, or ask me questions about finance. They annoy me. And I started reflecting on things that tick me off or trigger me. People who don't call me back. What's your pet peeves? Basically, your pet peeves are usually your triggers. People who lie, who play victim, and so I noticed that when people come around me and they are saying stuff like, so where you live, or what's your financial situations, do you think about that, and stuff like that. And it triggers me because I have been avoiding those questions for myself. I've been asking myself that, and of course my finances was not in order. And so any probe towards it was just it's uncomfortable. It's making me uncomfortable. And that's what triggers do. It makes you uncomfortable with certain areas in your life. Someone would be like, about relationships, like, oh, my husband or da da da, and I like, oh, this person, and all they want to do is talk about another man. Maybe I'm just kind of like, damn, is there something wrong with me that I don't? And it's just not even a projection where it's like I'm trying to figure out, like, what is it? Am I like wanting too much? But it's not that. It's the fact that I'm not putting off the confidence of believing I should be with someone. That's why I'm not attracting someone that wants to be with me. I'm attracting with people that are confused because I'm sending out the energy of confusion, if that's making sense to y'all. So until I am 100% and clear and sure of what I want, I'm going to get people who are flip-floppy, wishy-washy, and inconsistent. And that's just what it is. It's like, we could point fingers all we want and blame people for not being there or answering the calls or calling back. But at the end of the day, if we don't take ourselves seriously, then we're going to keep attracting people who don't take us seriously. Okay? So there was a guy where most of the guys, they would say that I'm naive and or too nice or too trusting. And that was a trigger for me because I was just like, what the hell? Like, I'm too trusting. Why is being too trusting or too naive a trigger word for me? Is because it makes me feel weak, and I'm like, if people are perceiving me to be that way, then they think they can take advantage of me, and now that leaves me vulnerable, so I need to be, and that was one of my triggers, right? Because I'm like, I don't want to be vulnerable. Who the hell thinks I'm vulnerable? And as I'm talking to you right now, I'm discovering certain things. The last time I was vulnerable with somebody, they literally tried to force themselves on me. And that was the worst feeling that I ever have gone through. Breaking my foot, that was nothing. Losing friends, that's nothing. But when you are a female and you are vulnerable and somebody that is close to you or you thought you knew is trying to force themselves on you, and you are powerless over your own self, you don't want to feel that. I wanted to avoid that. I wanted to gain weight. I wanted to sabotage anybody looking at me because I didn't want people to see me to see me as desirable or vulnerable at the same time. Like, I wanted to be my own man, right? And maybe that's why I'm not getting people, because they feel like I can do it on my own because that's what I'm putting out there. And see, I didn't even expect I was going to hit home with this because I didn't know where this podcast was going to take me, but it did just unleash something. So I'm doing the work and I'm healing because I didn't notice that it connected. So why I am single is because I portray that I'm good, that I don't want nobody, that I don't need anyone, that I am my own man. And that is not the case. It's a way that I wanted to protect myself. I wanted to protect myself. And usually when you think about the masculine energy, the masculine, they're the ones that's protecting you. They're the ones that provide for you. So me being trying to close off. I'm like, I love everybody and I want love and I'm open to love. But at the end of the day, I'm there like, well, if I'm providing for myself and I'm protecting myself, and I'm loving myself, where's the room that I leave for somebody else to come in and do that for me? I'm not really leaving any room. It's not the fact that guys do not want to be with me. That's not the case. It's not that I'm not attractive. That's not the case. It's the fact that I don't want to be seen. I don't want to be attacked. I don't want to be vulnerable, because that leads to brokenness, and I don't want to be that. So, and it's okay. Sometimes being vulnerable is beautiful. Allowing somebody in is beautiful. And I know that you're going to get people who take advantage, and then there's going to be people who actually want to be there for you, but they don't know how, because you've put up so many walls that they don't know if you even care. And I used to get that. People used to, oh, you don't care. And I used to be like, what are you talking about? I don't care. I'm here. I care. But it's more than that. And, as I mirrored, my past relationships, friendships, family members, I was always like that. I was just not trying to be seen in the cut. I didn't want people to look at me and sexualize me or objectify me, because I knew where it was gonna go, right? And I wasn't sexually abused as a kid or anything like that. It's just I grew up around a lot of perverted people, and I just didn't want that. Like, I just wanted people to look at me and see me and my intellect and how smart I was, not about my breasts or my lips or my thighs. I rejected myself because I think it took away from the other things that I was trying to offer. Damn. When you're just really talking to yourself, and I'm talking to everybody who's listening. Wow. But it all just comes full circle. And I didn't expect to be tearing up as I'm trying to be all deep and everything and try to, drop all some facts about mirroring what I'm learning. And it's a help guide, a self guide to happiness. And in order for you to enter that journey of healing, you have to feel through it. You have to look yourself in the mirror and see what's there. And for too long, I've been ignoring myself. I've been ignoring who I was fully, what I bring to the table, and allowing people, I wasn't allowing people to get on my nerves. They were coming in to teach me something about myself. And I wasn't allowing them to come in and teach me about myself because I was avoiding them and how they made me feel. I wasn't feeling it. I didn't want to feel it. And what mirroring does is makes you sit down and feel what they are doing to you. Why is it bothering you? What about this person that you don't like? What is it? Because in essence, what you don't like about them is what you don't like about yourself, or what it reminds you of about yourself. It's not usually exactly this is what, if it's a liar, normally you're probably not a liar, that you just don't like liars. It's just that you don't like what it comes with the lie, the disrespect, or where it's making you feel like you're not smart enough to handle the truth, makes you feel weak, right? So with me, my trigger is being vulnerable, or being looked at as weak and vulnerable, because a lot of people do take it as, they take your kindness for weakness. And I'm just kind of like, you know what? I'm a badass. You're not gonna do that to me. No. It don't matter what people gonna do. People gonna try you regardless. But when people disrespect me, it's a trigger. Like, I'm like, oh, so you gonna just disrespect me and keep it moving? Like, is that what it is? Okay, all right. Ready to fight. But I'm just kind of like, man, now that I'm reading more books and getting my finances together, I'm able to have conversations with people. When they talk about finances, I'm not hiding no more. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah, of course, this and that. If people want to pry into my life to figure out how to help me, because, I was locking people out. Like, I'm like, no, you don't need to know what's going on with me. And the more I closed off, the more my problem got bigger. And I almost felt suffocated. And anxiety is, I'm not gonna diagnose nobody or whatever, but for me, anxiety is running away from all your problems, and your problems is still there chasing you, and they want you to get to it, but you are too scared because you think it's bigger than what it really is. And when I started looking at the things that I was supposed to be doing, I'm like, all I had to do is just stay on top of it, and it doesn't get big. I'm getting distracted, and really, it's not that deep. And when we talk about coming back to mirroring, like, I'm big on communication. But I'm big on communication, but if you do not communicate with me, and I keep telling you I value communication, I will stop talking to you. And that's kind of like, I guess it's kind of backwards, because if communication is key, then why am I not doing it? It's because I feel like you don't value the communication, so why am I giving you communication? I'm not going to waste my time on somebody who who doesn't value me. So, of course, that I still have to work on that, because I got to see why communication, I'm pretty sure people lacking communication with me means that they don't want, I feel like I'm being rejected because they don't want to speak to me, or, they're hiding for something that goes from like trust and and looking stupid. And I don't want to look stupid. And why does it matter if I look stupid in front of people? Because they're going to talk about me. And I don't like people talking about me because they're going to spread rumors around me, and then I look stupid. It's just all of that. And it's all about what people perceive and their opinions of you. And to me, that shouldn't matter. And I don't want it to matter. So I'm working on not allowing things to, actually, I'm working on passing these tests, meeting people and being around them. I think I might need to be around people that trigger me, or people that I don't like, so I can see what about them stands out to me that I can start working on with myself. Because when I do the shadow work, when I do that work on myself, less things will bother me. And I will attract people like myself that aren't struggling with insecurities or triggers or unlearned lessons. And I'll cry through it, and I'll be vulnerable. Yeah. Well, so like one of the other things that I see in the book, it was talking about gossip. And I was like, I don't like gossip because I don't like making people feel bad and stuff like that. And as I was reading the book, it was just like, I was like, damn, I can't stand a person who gossips like that. But it was like, I probably do like the gossip. And I'm beating myself up for liking the gossip. And I should just say, look, I do like gossip because I do like feeling better than people. And admit that to myself instead of denying who I am and finding out why do I want to feel better about myself by talking about other people or hearing news about other people. What about that? And so that is still a work in progress because we are all human, and I'm trying to see, like I don't need the gossip. I avoid a lot of people. I apologize for the honking in the background. Like I don't want to do it. I just want, and then I'm there like telling people, oh, I don't like gossip. But then here I am trying to come up with some gossip. I'm like, you know what? I don't have to speak about certain things. Things are going to play out. However, I wish somebody would just move out of this person's way or come down where they can come get them. But am I letting that trigger me? Is that something because they are interfering with my voice and my voice matters? I'm just trying to figure out, this mirroring thing got me looking at everything sideways, okay? I'm just here trying to heal, okay? I'm just trying to do me, do what I'm supposed to do. People think that I'm sitting on top of the world, top of the world, top of the world. Okay, so I'm bugging. But try it out. The book again is called Add More Ing to Your Life. It's the cover has a girl on a blonde girl with angel wings, and she's on a skateboard. That is the cover. Her name is Gabrielle Bernstein, and it is a hip guide to happiness. Take a look at the book, try it out, read it, tell me what you think. She had me thinking, she had me sitting and meditating and all this type of things. On the first chapter that I read, I cried. I did the exercise that she said to do, and then I cried. And now that I'm looking at mirroring, y'all just heard me tear up on that. So the book works. It has you thinking. I don't read just to read. I read to change my perception, or just to challenge my intellect, or to increase it. It's all about capacity. And I definitely am super excited to be sharing this information with y'all, because you know what I'm saying? This is about beauty and braids, and I took my braids out, put my hair in a little twist, you know what I'm saying? And that little tear up was an ugly cry, okay? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you gotta get ugly to get beautiful, okay? So don't let anybody make you feel less than. You're not less than. Those are teachable moments. Please allow yourself to feel what they're making you feel. Okay, so one time, let me just be raw with y'all because it's unfiltered. One time, this guy that I used to like said some BS to me, saying that I look like, who did he say? Kelly Price. He was like, "Oh, you look like Kelly Price in there," and it triggered the hell out of me where I stopped speaking to his ass. I was like, Kelly Price, hold up. Not to say that Kelly Price is ugly. There's nothing wrong with her. She's not ugly. She's pretty. But I was like, out of everybody, I look like Kelly Price. What, do I look big? Am I heavy? Like, was it the weight? Was it my weight that he? So of course it was nothing that he said. Right? He's not the problem, but what he said triggered something in me that I've been struggling with, and it was my weight. So he could have said, you look like Gabrielle Union, and I'd be like, oh my God, thank you. But because he said somebody who is known to be heavy set, I was like, what? And in the picture that he sent, that he told me, I didn't think I looked like her at all. Like, especially when someone says you look like that, you're thinking about her face, her facial expression, whatever. And I'm like, we don't look alike. And I looked super cute, and I was losing weight around that time. So I was just like, so is he saying I'm not losing weight and I still look big? Because, and that's not what he said. But that was what was happening in my head and the feelings that I was getting. And I was like, oh hell no, he got to go. And he's the type of person that triggers me a lot. He is definitely somebody, what they call a soulmate, that is here to teach me something in my life. And it is about, I guess, acceptance or being confident in a lot, because he doesn't even understand how many times I want to cut him. Okay? Like, I be wanting to cut him. We talk all the time. Like, I'll stop talking to him, and then, he'll be sad, and then I'll start talking to him again, and then he'd be like, hey, and we be, talking, and I'll be like, you know what? Thank you for dealing with my I be going left. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it just hurts so much that I just get super angry and I lash out. So when he does that, with that, I'm like, yo, I need to start being okay with being a little heavier, right? I work on myself, get healthy. As long as I'm healthy, I'm fine. And this is mirroring. Like, as long as I'm fine, I'll be okay. I'm still beautiful. I'm still, slaying different outfits and modeling and stuff. But it's just that checked me off, and I just was like, how dare he? Does he not notice that I am losing weight? Do not say that to a female who is trying to lose weight and you compare her to someone who is known to be overweight. That's all I was saying. I was like, but if it wasn't like something that I wasn't getting over, and what it made me feel like I was back in my, heavier days, and I didn't like feeling like that. So I lashed out and cut communication, because it was like, if you don't know how to talk to people, then I don't want to talk to you. And it wasn't even that. It was just like, if I don't know how to deal with people, I can't just go around cutting people off like that. Like, I need to know, I need to communicate. I also need to communicate that that's why it bothered me, because I wasn't letting them know. And I think as a grown person, I would think that he would know something like that, but I can't go around assuming that people gonna have common sense of how to speak to a female, because that was his issue. But again, that was projection. That's not his thing. He's gonna learn on his own. But for me, it was how to navigate in a room full of vultures. Oh my God, they really playing music in the back. Whew. I got learning to do, you know what I'm saying? But thank y'all so much for listening. Y'all allow me to unpack a couple of things happening in my life that I wasn't even paying attention to. I just was throwing out examples, and it actually sparked something truly in my life, to, like, definitely needed to see what kind of person that I've been looking back at when I'm looking in the mirror. So thank y'all so much. Please hold y'all tongue. Don't be cursing people out. Just know that there's something in you that is bringing something up, and it's just a mirror. Just try that exercise and see how well your life will be if you understand why you're being triggered. It's your girl Karyne. Please listen to my ads, and tell a friend. Share with your friends and family. If you have any topics that you want me to talk about, go ahead and shoot me a comment. You know what I'm saying? I'm only human. I am not gonna kill nobody. I'm just here to help, here to tell my story, and hopefully it clears something up in yours. Have a good one. Stay blessed and COVID free. Bye. Thank you again for listening to Beauty and Braids. I'm your girl Karyne, and this has been another great day. Until next time, you'll hear from me then. In the meantime, please follow me on @HairByKaryne, @ShopBraidAppeal, and @YTC Nonprofit. Get to know me a little bit better. Check them out. Bye.